Picture this, a luxurious neighborhood so upscale that the grass is probably getting manicured on a daily basis. Now, imagine I'm living in a secluded little corner of this posh paradise, and it's eerily quiet.
Perfect for a horror story, right?
The isolation adds a sprinkle of suspense to my everyday life, like the universe is just waiting for something dramatic to happen, like a squirrel with an attitude. So, there I was on a typical evening, investigating some splashing sounds that seemed to be auditioning for the spookiest soundtrack ever. My heart jugged between curiosity and sheer, pants-filling fear. It's like my brain was saying, let's go see what's going on, while my instincts were screaming, nah, let's just leave that to someone else. Who doesn't love a good internal debate over possible doom? Things took a wild turn when suddenly, a voice from the dark boldly declared, I see you.
Thanks a lot, voice.
Talk about vulnerability on a whole new level. My heart went from 0 to 100 in seconds, akin to a roller coaster that forgot to check the safety bar. You could practically hear the stakes rising faster than my blood pressure. This eerie voice caused panic to bubble up like a rancid pot of soup. I mean, searching for the source of a disembodied voice in an upscale neighborhood? Not exactly how I envisioned my evening. You could slice the tension in the air with a butter knife, if only I had the guts to pick it up and defend myself.
Now, let's talk about this voice.
It was a bizarre blend of a child's giggle and an adult's grumble, like a toddler who just hit puberty. If that doesn't scream you're in trouble, I don't know what does. This kind of confusion is the stuff that nightmares are made of, leaving me feeling like I just stepped into a horror movie without as much as a snack. Naturally, after this little joy ride, I felt it was crucial to report the incident to my mom, who was busy flipping through the channels of disbelief. I mean, did someone really need help out there? Or were they just lost and looking for their pet goldfish? In any case, Mom was as skeptical as a cat at a dog show about involving the authorities.
Thanks, Mom.
But my fears kept rising like a loaf of sourdough bread in the oven. Over countless sleepless nights, I found myself begging my parents to take me seriously, only to be met with eye rolls that could launch a rocket. Eventually, a shocking discovery made them rethink their disbelief and finally realize that maybe I wasn't just being melodramatic.
Who would have thought?
The family's big decision to move after this incident was like tossing a hot potato. None of us wanted to hold on to that fear any longer. It showed that the grand castle of safety we thought we had was more like a cardboard box in a thunderstorm.
And can you believe it?
This whole ordeal screamed for parents to listen to those little voices of fears, because folks, they're not just asking for ice cream. But alas, my parents' initial disbelief turned my world upside down, tossing me into an emotional roller coaster straight to crazy town. Let's be real, dismissing your child's fears is like stepping on a Lego, it can lead to some long-lasting consequences. This whole saga is practically a parental warning label, if only they came with instructions. Then came the evening of discomfort when I heard someone enter the bathroom.
But wait, there was no one there.
Let's just say the tension was thick enough to cut with a machete. I thought it was the perfect setup for the next big horror flick. Spoiler alert, I wasn't getting paid for my performance. After relocating, you'd think I'd find peace, right?
Wrong.
Enter stage left, a stalker who left unsettling notes like my life was some sort of creepy love story. I mean, who needs Netflix when you've got this reality show playing out? My personal space was invaded more than a politician during an election campaign. And just when I thought the police could help, the stalker kept buzzing around like a pesky fly at a picnic. It drove me to seek reassurance from family and friends, who probably thought I was auditioning for Who Moved My Cheese? The Horror Edition. Isn't it kind of ironic how the hunt for safety has us seeking out companionship? Meanwhile, this whole situation gave me a glimpse into today's dating culture, especially via apps like Tinder. Talk about swiping right into a horror story. My experience felt like a cautionary tale narrated by a poorly written horror movie. Awareness of personal safety now felt like the golden rule I should have tattooed on my forehead. The story shines a spotlight on the lurking risks that come with socializing in unfamiliar territories. That's right, folks, stay away from neighborhoods known for crime, because you know what they say, all that glitters is not gold, and if it's dark and suspicious, it's probably a crime scene just waiting for an audience. Sharing personal information online can lead to consequences more significant than forgetting where you parked. The protagonist learned this the hard way, proving that privacy and trust are hot commodities, not to be thrown around like confetti at a parade. This reminder popped up like an unwanted ad on a YouTube video. Now, let's dive into my personal challenges. I had this delightful combination of a nicotine addiction and a sleep schedule so messed up it should come with a warning label. These little quirks amplified my awareness of my surroundings like I was a character in a spy movie, ready to leap into action at any moment, except I was just trying to figure out if I'd left the oven on. Then there was the mysterious black van lurking around, as if it had its own agenda in a telenovela. I couldn't help but become intrigued, noticing its recurring presence, just like that one overbearing relative at every family gathering. The neighbor's odd behavior added even more layers to this mystery, like sprinkling paprika on an already spicy dish. Following the neighbor's van was like going on a wild treasure hunt, only to stumble upon a deserted gas station. Talk about finding the jackpot of weirdness. It raised more questions than answers, making me wonder if my neighbor was just an average Joe or a secret agent working on a conspiracy plot. Can I be the sidekick in this adventure? Then came the nightmares, those delightful little nuggets of sleep paralysis that blend horror with a sprinkle of existential dread. Knowing about these sleep disorders felt like having the cheat code to navigate my psyche's haunted house. That way, I wouldn't just scream in my sleep, I could at least choose which ghosts I wanted to tackle. And oh boy, do nightmares have a way of blurring dreams and reality. They evoke emotions so intense, they're like a roller coaster ride with no seatbelts. These experiences never seem to fade, leaving traces like the last bite of a crazy spicy curry, a lovely reminder of what I just subjected myself to. When it comes to the specter of unknown intruders, well, that ramps up the fear and anxiety levels like a cat at a dog park. You can blame vivid dreams for that heightened apprehension, they feed off our imagination like a toddler at a candy shop, leaving us gasping for air as if we just got caught in a ghostly breeze. One night, I had a terrifying encounter with a toy car that decided to turn itself on in the dead of night. It was like being haunted by a little battery-operated ghost. Panic rushed through me like caffeinated squirrels. That marked the start of my toys being put in the do not trust category. Thanks a lot, fun childhood. The following night, my brother and I heard mysterious sounds again.
Surprise, surprise.
The toy car lit up like a Broadway star under the spotlight, amplifying all our fears to the max. Tension piled up quicker than dirty laundry, adding to our growing sense of unease like a heavy blanket that just wouldn't let us breathe. Finally, in a grand showdown, that haunted toy car decided to roll right into the room on its own. Cue the panic screams that could shatter glass. It was like an unwanted guest crashing a party. My parents quickly took drastic measures, sealing the fate of the toy and ensuring it would never see the light of day again. Can't say I missed its company.